I'm Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. And normally during 9/11, we all get together, the city, the nation, and here in the Bronx to memorialize those families, friends, and loved ones that we lost here in New York City and other parts of the country. Here in the Bronx, we always get together in the Grand Concourse because we lost 144 of our fellow beloved Bronxites. I want to thank all of the family members who are with us because this year, while we could not be physically together, we're still going to continue to commemorate, to honor their names, their legacy, and their lives. And we're going to do it virtually. I want to thank Bronxnet for putting this together. I want to thank all of you for participating. Their memories will always be in our hearts. We will never forget what happened on 9/11, even though it's 19 years later. God bless you. God bless the Bronx. God bless the United States of America. And God bless all of the loved ones that we lost on that tragic, horrific day.
Bronxnet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Welcome again to Lou Gehrig Plaza for this day of remembrance. A day in which we commemorate the lives and memory of all those men and women lost on that terrible day 12 years ago. And in particular, the memory of those who were born or who lived or who worked here in the Bronx. The pain of loss of a child, of a husband, of a wife, of a comrade, is a terrible burden. And it is the sincerest hope of all of us here that those who carry that burden are given a sense of comfort that the promise that was made 12 years ago is a promise that is kept once again today, that we will never forget. At this time, let us now have our presentation of our colors. Please welcome the New York State Court's Ceremonial Unit and the New York State Court's Pipes and Drums to lead us in today's service.
Ready? Going home. Let it right. Slow. Mark.
We know that people are dealing with the health crisis, but there's also a lot of food insecurity.
We're giving out healthy food options, and that's what's key here.
If you're a senior, you have a disability, they'll actually deliver meals to you.
The residents are anxious, they're worried, they're scared, they want to be tested.
When things were happening in our community and we couldn't get the help.
There's almost a presumption of criminality that attaches to your skin color.
The site will prioritize those who are at highest risk in the population.
If you feel symptoms and you'd like to visit one of these COVID-19 testing sites here in the Bronx, you may call the State Health Department's hotline.
Important to note about this site is no reservations are needed. This is a walk-in clinic.
A lot of us are out of work and looking for something to do.
We have the machinery and the skills to make large scales of these masks and gowns.
Take care of your people. It's going to go way further than we actually can understand.
Right now, employees like myself are just adjusting to the new reality.
Reporting from Bronxnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and welcome the Bronx Global Learning Institute for Girls and their all-girls string orchestra for the Star-Spangled Banner. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium for the invocation Rabbi Avi Weiss, Senior Rabbi of the Hebrew Institute of Riverdale.
Compassionate God, we stand before you, remembering the white ashes that came up to our ankles that morning. We didn't know it then, but those ashes, in part, were the remains of those who perished. We stand before you with other images of the lobby of Stuyvesant High School, turned into a triage center. Doctors, head in hands, crying as they were waiting for the injured to come, but they never came. We stand before you with images, standing a rabbi near a priest, a nun, and an imam at attention in a makeshift morgue as a coffin draped in an American flag comes by, and we prayed together, and someone whispered, all that is inside the coffin is the finger of a human being. That's all we found. Oh Lord, we stand before you remembering people. Erica Zucca, who called frantically, Rabbi, Andrew's not home. Tape his picture to the wall of the missing. He never came home. And Erica gave birth 5 months later. Or of Ariel Jacobs, bar mitzvah in my synagogue, whose wife gave birth 9 days later. And oh God, I offer on this, the eve of Yom Kippur, your humble servant, a rabbi of a community, what I believe is the deepest prayer, the prayers that I chant now in the song of that ancient spiritual kumbaya, the words of the final words from 9/11 tapes, from 9/11 tapes and cell phones. Honey, something terrible is happening. I don't think I'm going to make it. I love you. Take care of the children. Kumbaya, my Lord. Hey, hey, Jules. It's Brian. I'm on the plane and it's hijacked and it doesn't look good. I just wanted to let you know that I love you and I hope to see you again. If I don't, please have fun in life and live life the best you can. Know that I love you, and no matter what, I'll see you again. Mahami, the building is on fire. There's smoke coming through the walls. I can't breathe. I love you. Mahami, goodbye. I love you 1,000 times, over and over. I love and need whatever decisions you make in your lives. I need you to be happy, and I will respect any decisions you make. Oh God, embrace their souls, protect their families. Oh Lord, embrace the firefighters and the police officers, those who gave their lives trying to save so many men and women, including Manuel, 32 years old, whose mother, Griselle, I just met, and looking into your eyes, I offer the prayer, the humble prayer, that you know that your son died a hero and that your tears become one day tears of dancing together with his soul. I know you join me in offering the prayer that God protect the real heroes, the police officers and the firefighters. May God bless you and your family, bless our troops, and bless the United States of America.
Please be seated. And thank you, Rabbi, for those inspirational words. At this time, please welcome the Honorable Douglas McKeon, Administrative Judge for Bronx Supreme Court.
Rabbi Weiss, thank you for that very moving invocation. Members of the clergy, Mr. President, Deputy Borough President Green, our great New York State Controller who honors us by his presence here today, Controller DiNapoli, and my predecessor, the great Administrative Judge of this borough, Barry Salmon. Ladies and gentlemen, how well Rabbi Weiss said it. His recollection of that terrible day when men of God, women of God of different faiths came together as one to comfort those who had been injured, to grieve with those who had been lost. And while we think of today as a day of remembrance, it is in so very many ways a day of reaffirmation. Reaffirmation that grief knows no color. Grief knows no age. Grief knows no gender. That whatever path we took to bring us to this place on this day and on this occasion, whatever it is that perhaps divides us, the idea of grief, the idea that we have lost one within our midst, brings us together as a community, reminds us that we share that common thread, that terrible sense that when we lose a loved one, we are united because each of us, no matter what our color, no matter what our faith, no matter what our belief, share that terrible sense, that terrible loss when one we saw in the morning is no longer there in the night. And so, Mr. President, I'm so very grateful to you, as I have said before, that you have given us the privilege in the court system to be part of this ceremony, that you've allowed us to bring our great pipe and drum and our ceremonial unit and to make it part of today. Rabbi, it is so comforting that a man like yourself would pray for our firefighters and our police, but I should tell you that on that terrible day, we lost some very brave court officers as well. And so we thank all of these brave men and women for their sacrifice then, their sacrifice today, and for the sacrifices that they will make that are yet to come. Thank you, Mr. President, for this special honor, and God bless you, sir.
Well, I got this as a paid internship. Spending my time here, I really enjoyed the people that work here. I enjoy what goes on behind the scenes.
So far, I've learned how to operate a camera, how to host. I learned how to control audio.
My first time hosting was really nerve-wracking, but I really enjoyed it because it was a new experience.
Thank you, Judge. While today remains a somber occasion, I can't help but be overwhelmed by the amazing turnout and the people that have come here today to offer comfort and to remember. In the horrible weeks and days after 9/11, people dealt with grief very differently. Some threw themselves into work, others chose to create. An important part of today is those creations in terms of music. And at this time, I'd please like to welcome Mr. Hank Fellows and Sid Sherry, the vocalist, to share with us a very special composition that he wrote. It remains a special symbol of the different ways that we honor the memory of those lost.
On a bright September morning in the greatest city known, a gentle breeze was blowing through the place they called their home. And high above the city, they were working side by side in the gleaming towers, reaching far up to the sky. They were halfway to heaven, and I know they're all there now. Fathers, sons, and daughters, and mothers free and proud, and those who raced into the flames to save their fellow man. I know that they're all home now. They will always be among us, for their love can never die. We shall walk together, though the years will all pass by, and at every graduation flames to save their fellow man. I know that they're all home. They were halfway to heaven, and I know they're all there now. Fathers, sons, and daughters, and mothers free and proud, and those who raced into the flames to save their fellow man. I know that they're all home now. I know that they're all home now. I see children out playing, their mothers are saying, let them be strong as they grow. I hear old men tell stories of love, war, and glory when they were still young long ago. And all along my journey, I feel that light still burning so deep inside my soul. It's the spirit of America. I feel it in my heart. Generations come and gone, where each one did their part. Those who fought and served and died, so our children can run free. A land where truth will always live, and fear will never be. I see lovers and dreamers, poets and schemers, all side by side in the sun. I see those who are stronger, helping those who take longer, so they're home by the time day is done. And all along the byways, the back roads and the highways, it's all so clear to me now. It's the spirit of America. I feel it in my heart. Generations come and gone, where each one did their part. Those who served and fought and died, so our children can run free. A land where truth will always live, and fear will never be. It's the spirit of America. I feel it in my heart. Generations come and gone, where each one did their part. Those who served and fought and died, so our children can run free. A land where truth will always live, and fear will never be. A land where truth will always live, and fear will never be. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Hank, for sharing your talent with us today. At this time, please welcome the President of the Borough of the Bronx, the Honorable Ruben Diaz, Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Derek, for the introduction. To Sid and to Hank, on behalf of all of us here today, we want to thank you again. Let's give him another strong round of applause for that melodious voice that is so soothing and the words of those songs that so capture the spirit of the Bronx, New York City, and of this nation. The Deputy Borough President, Aurelia Green, and I are so happy that so many of you are here with us today. To Rabbi Avi Weiss, to Bishop Rosario, thank you for being here and lending your spiritual words and your comfort, because in many ways, what this has become is a spiritual event for all of us here. Our Supreme Court Justice, Judge McKeon, so eloquently put it as to how this event has unified and united New Yorkers, Americans, people from all walks of life. And so today, as we have done in the past and will continue to do in the future, is that we will honor all of the victims of September 11, 2001. Those of American Airline Flight 11, United Airline Flight 175, the World Trade Center, American Airline Flight 77, the Pentagon, and United Air Flight 93. And today, we welcome all of the families and family members who are in attendance and those who couldn't make it, because we want you to know that the Bronx, on behalf of 1.4 million Bronxites, we share your pain. We want the world to know that on that fateful day, the Bronx was also hit hard. I say that, ladies and gentlemen, because in the Bronx, we lost 144 individuals down at 9/11 in the World Trade Center. We lost our heroes. We lost family members. We all know someone. We can all share a story about where we were that day or who we knew that was down there. I, for one, could never forget a young man named Darryl McKinney. We called him Pop. Darryl and I grew up in the Soundview section of the Bronx. I lived on St. Lawrence, and he lived in Bronxdale houses, known today as Sonia Sotomayor houses. We learned to play basketball in a little court that we called the Dungeon, over there on Rosedale Park. And Pop excelled. He was short in height, but boy, did he have a big mouth. And he continued to educate himself, and his basketball skills, unlike mine, took him with scholarships over to college, where he was able to get a scholarship, where he was able to learn about accounting and finances, and Pop made it. Pop worked in Cantor and Fitzgerald. And we know what happened in that corporation where they lost hundreds of individuals. Pop was a local basketball hero. Pop was also a young man in one of the toughest part of town who made it. And so many individuals looked up to him. And Pop's life was snatched at such an early age on that day. And so, as the borough president, I'm here to honor the 144 Bronxites, to honor the over 3,000 individuals, but also to pay respect to the family and friends of Pop McKinney and so many others that are with us here today. To say thank you to the men and women in uniform, to our New York City Police Department. Let's give them a strong round of applause. To honor the men and women of our fire department. Let's give them a strong round of applause. To honor those in EMS and EMT and also the court officers that were there that gave them this. Let's give them a strong round of applause. And so I leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen, 12 years later. And people say, well, that's a dozen years. That's a long time ago already. And they say, Rabbi Weiss, that time heals all wounds. But I say that time cannot fill the void that's still left in the friends and the family members, the husbands and wives, the mothers and fathers and the children that lost their loved ones. And so if nothing else, we pause as a borough. I'm so happy so many individuals are looking in the perimeter here, whether we're black, white, Latino, regardless if we're Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, if we're tall or short. Today we pause as a borough and we say we'll never ever forget. We'll always be there. So collectively, as one big Bronx family, we'll comfort each other and try the best that we can to fill that void. And so I want to thank all of you who are a part of this program. I want to thank our very best. Let's give it up for our young ladies who are with us here today. Come on, this is our future. This is what it's about. I'm so proud to stand as the borough president. And with that, if you would join me in a moment of silence so that we can remember those who are no longer with us. Thank you. You may have a seat, please.
Ignatius Udo Adanga. Sophia B. Addo. Emmanuel Akwazi Afwakwa. Anthony Alvarado. Robert J. Byerwalter. Gerard Baptiste. Victor Daniel Barboza. Peter Alexander Bielfeld. Brian Eugene Bilcher. Christopher J. Blackwell. Patrice Brout. Liam Callahan. Jose Manuel Cardona. Jose Ramon Castro. Gregorio Manuel Chavez. Nestor Andre Cintron III. Manny Leroy Clark. Donna Marie Clark. John Michael Collins. Sol E. Colon. Brenda E. Conway. Helen D. Cook. John Gerard Coughlin. Thomas P. Cullen III. John Delara. Thomas A. Damaskinos. Vincent Dans. Jose Nicolas de Peña. Nereida de Jesus, Manuel Del Valle Jr., Jerry DeVito, Dennis Lawrence Devlin, Nancy Diaz, Jeffrey Mark Dingle, Melissa C. Doy, Jerome Mark Patrick Dominguez, Stephen Driscoll, Christopher Samuel Epps, Patricia Mary Fagan, Kristen Nicole Fiedel, Thomas J. Foley, Richard Gabrielle, John Patrick Gallagher, Lourdes Galetti, Thomas Gambino Jr., Charles W. Garbarini, Mon Jean Balage, Janine Nicole Gonzalez, Calvin J. Gooding, Elvira Granito, Linda Catherine Grayling, Derek Arthur Green, David Joseph Grimner, Jeffrey E. Guja, Babita Gerjamati Guman, Robert W. Hamilton, Aisha Ann Harris, Leon Hayward, Michael K. Healy, Brian Christopher Hickey, Dajuan Hodges, Patrick A. Hoey, Michael Eichen, Frederick Ill Jr., Ariel Lewis Jacobs, Angel L. Huarbe Jr., Joseph P. Kellett, Maurice P. Kelly, Chris Michael Kirby, Victor Quayarquier, Alan Charles LaFrance, Hamadou S. Larry, Alexis Ledouce, Stephen Paul Lefkowitz, Carlos R. Lilo, Nancy Liz, Luis Manuel Lopez, Michael Francis Lynch, Michael J. Lyons, Jenny Ann Maffeo, John D. Marshall, William E. McGinn, Darrell LaRon McKinney, Raymond M. Meisenheimer, Antonio Melendez, Eve John Mercado, Manuel de Jesus Molina, John Moran, Yvette Nicole Moreno, Cynthia Motis Wilson, Dennis Michael Mulligan, Raymond E. Murphy, Luke G. Nee. Juan Nieves Jr. Curtis Terrence Noel. Thomas G. O'Hagan. Timothy F. O'Sullivan. Oreo J. Palmer. Hardai Parbu. Angela Susan Perez. John William Perry. Dominic Agostino Pezzulo. Suzette Eugenia Piantieri. Brandon Jerome Powell. Vincent Princiota. Donald J. Reagan. Christian Michael Otto Reaganhard. Howard Reich. Rudolph N. Riccio. Alan J. Richmond. Carmen Alicia Rivera. Juan William Rivera. Paul V. Rizza. James A. Romito. David M. Ruddle. Gilbert Ruiz. Juan G. Salas. Esmerlin Antonio Salcedo. Kirsten Santiago. Frederick C. Sheffield, Jr. Gerard P. Schrang. Catherine Ann Shatzoff. Gregory R. Sikorsky. Joseph P. Spoor. Fitzroy St. Rose. Derek O. Sword. Sean Patrick Talon. Rachel Tamares. Stanley L. Temple. Vanava Alexi Thompson. William Harry Thompson. Hector Luis Tirado, Jr. Doris Torres. Abdul Karim Traore. William Valcarcel. Benito Valentin. Richard B. Van Hine. Joseph Vincent Vigano. James A. Waring. Walter Edward Weaver. Glenn E. Wilkerson. Louis Anthony Williams. David J. Williams. Andrew S. Zucker.
Once again, let me just take the time to thank all of the men and women in uniform who are here today. I want to thank all of the men and women who sit on our bench, all of the judges who are here today. Judge McKeon, thank you. I want to thank all of the family members and express to you once again our condolences. And of course, the ladder trucks that you see behind us participating in waving Old Glory. Let's give them a strong round of applause. Firefighter James Sorokak is from the ceremonial unit of the NFDNY. We want to give him a round of applause. Mr. State Comptroller, you heard that bell so many times, over 140 times. That was the bell of the men and women from the Bronx community who perished on that day. As the State Comptroller, you could be anywhere in the state of New York, and you decided to be with us here today, and for that, we want to thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless those that we lost. God bless the family and friends who are here today. God bless the men and women of the police department, the fire department. God bless the Bronx, and God bless America. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Borough President. Let us continue this solemn occasion by moving on from the mournful sound of the bells to the uplifting sound of our Bronx students. Once again, please welcome the Bronx Global Learning Institute for Girls and their all-girl string orchestra. They'll be performing the theme from Titanic and Pachelbel's Canon in D. Once again, a strong round of applause for the Global Learning Institute for Girls, Principal Dominish, Assistant Principal Gonzalez, all the teachers, and all these wonderful, wonderful students who raise us up today. Now at this time, I will please call up Bishop Angel Rosario from the Church of God's Children for today's benediction.
Peace and blessings to each and every one of us. What a wonderful occasion to come together. There's a great teaching that says that we are all born to die, but we all die to live. The justice, the borough president, deputy borough president, each one of the clergy that is here with us today to remember. There's a couple of areas in the scriptures that says, do this in memory of me. Not only the New Testament, but the Old Testament. The greatest gift that we do have is that if we believe, we will have the strength to overcome. There's a psalm that is so wonderful that everyone uses it. Jewish belief uses it, Christian belief, Baptists, even Muslims. Because in God's eyes, we are all his creation. We were all made with the finger of God, and he blew into us life. Psalm 23 has a tremendous ending in it. And it says, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Ask yourself one question. If we are all born to die, and we all die to live, and we all die in different forms and different times, we could die at young age, we could die at middle age, an old age, or a tragic death. But if the word is correct, as I believe it is, and it said that we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. If you are dwelling somewhere, can you be dead? And if you are dwelling in a house that said that is the house of the Lord, and God is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. God took our families, our friends home. They didn't choose what denomination was going to die. They didn't choose what race was there. They didn't even ask the age. But if we dare to believe, to have the hope of glory, we rejoice because we know that in a tragic death, the God that created the heavens and the earth is able to mend the broken hearts. And when the heart is mended, there's a scar, but it's still mended. The scar reminds us that we knew someone and that we remember that someone, and it makes us better than who we are. We bless God for his mercy. And I pray that God may mend the broken heart of every mother, every father, every brother, every son, and every person. And I believe that together, as one human race, as one Bronx, as one country, we can mend those broken hearts and continue to pray that God may give us the wisdom, the knowledge to create peace and not war, to create love and not hate. And I say with this, may the peace of our Lord and Creator of be in every heart and in every soul and every person that walks upon God's green earth. May we see better days and continue to remember so that we learn to love even those that hate us. In the blessed name of our Lord and Creator, in the blessed name of our Lord Jesus Christ, may they be blessed and continue to live in the presence of God. And one day, we will see them again, and we will never be separated again. God bless, peace and blessing to each and every one, and God bless the Bronx, our borough president, our President Obama, and peace to all. God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bishop. And thank you all once again for joining us today for this day of remembrance. On behalf of the Borough President and the staff, all of the court officers and judges, and everyone who has been here today, I am proud every day to be part of the Bronx, but never more so today. And I urge you all to remember the lessons that we learned from 9/11, in that in the face of adversity, there is strength in community. And on behalf of all the families, I urge you all to keep those lessons in your heart. At this time, I will also ask any family members and anyone to return to the courthouse to visit the September 11th memorial plaque and to see a special video produced by the Borough President's Office. Thank you once again to the men and women of the FDNY, the New York Police Department, the courts officers, everyone who has made today the type of event that we are truly proud of. To all of the family members, God bless you, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you and good afternoon.